A snow-capped ski resort, Davos. Here, delegates meet annually with the aim to improve the state of the world. The World Economic Forum is attended by 3,000 delegates from 117 countries, including South Africa, and 53 heads of state. This year's theme is Stakeholders for a Cohesive and Sustainable World. On the sidelines of the forum, the International Monetary Fund has cut South Africa's growth forecast from 1% previously to 0.8% in 2020. It has cited electricity shortages and the slow pace of reforms as some of the reasons for these numbers.
Our numbers for South Africa are 0.4% for 2019, 0.8% for 2020, and 1% for 2021. These growth rates are lower than the population growth rate in South Africa. So in terms of per capita terms, these are, these are the numbers we would hope would be much better. The growth would be much higher than this. In the case of South Africa, there is still elevated policy uncertainty. Tied to the slow pace of structural reforms, and that has been weighing on growth. And because there's now limited fiscal space, public spending is now weaker than it could have been, and these factors are having an impact. Would you like to add anything, Jim?
I think one more obstacle to growth are really these supply bottlenecks. I think the most obvious one is the frequent power outages. Those take a really heavy toll on aggregate supply. So you have both an impact on real activity, and you have the financial woes of ESCOM weighing on the fisc, on the budget, and hence curtailing room for other productive public spending. So it's essential to get, the public enterprise reform and to be effective and to improve the functioning of key ones like ESCOM. That has been one clear factor at play during 2019.
The World Economic Forum also released the Social Mobility Report that has found that increasing social mobility by 10% would not only benefit social cohesion but also boost economic growth by nearly 5% over the next 10 years. Among the emerging economies, it has ranked South Africa 77th.
Well, there's a lot of empirical evidence showing that by investing in social mobility, and by that we mean investing in things like education, like connectivity, like social protection, investing in those factors actually is good for the economy in the long run. So we build a model and we run a few regressions, but it's not just us. There is a vast body of literature out there telling you that if you invest in those things that are good for society, you will get return not only in terms of social outcomes, but also in terms of economic outputs.
With proceedings officially expected to get underway on Tuesday, the 21st of January, by then Team South Africa is expected to have touched down in its entirety, and top of their priority list will be to sell South Africa as an investment destination of choice. This is despite all the challenges that they would have left back home. Liabo Setho, SABC News, Davos, Switzerland.